All right, hello, welcome to Algebra 3 today. We are going to take our notes online. We're going to start where we left off yesterday with example 4b. We're going to go over this one. I would suggest you try it on your own and then play and see if you get the answer right. As you're working today, feel free to stop the video at any time, copy down what's on my screen, and then go ahead and press play when you're ready to move on. All right, without further ado, example 4b, it says consider the polynomial function f of x equals negative x cubed plus 5x squared minus 7. Estimate the average rate of change over the interval 1, 3. Remember, when we're doing this, we're going to eventually plug it all into the formula f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. But we need to first figure out what f of b and f of a are. Remember, my formula gives me a and it gives me b, and we're going to go ahead and plug that in to find f of a and f of b. So the first thing I know is we have a equals 1. So to find f of a, we're going to plug 1 into our equation at the top. So we're going to do negative 1 cubed plus 5 times 1 squared minus 7. Again, if I'm doing this in my calculator, I'm going to type this in first and figure out what it equals. If I do 1 cubed, I get 1 times a negative gives me a negative 1. If I square 1, I get 1 times 5 is a 5, and then minus 7. If I put those together, we have negative 1 plus 5, which gives me a negative 4, minus 7 gives me a negative 11. And that is going to be my f of a value. I'm going to write it over here. I know f of a. So I have negative 27, and then if I square 3, I get 9. 9 times 5 gives me 45, so plus 45, and then minus 7. Again, at that point, you can put it into your calculator and figure out what you actually... Alright, if I put all of that into my calculator, I get 11, and that's going to be my value for f of b. So this guy equals 11. Sorry, my iPad is like falling as I talk. And then we get f of b equals 11. And that is my second set of equations that I'm going to use for my final formula. So I'm just going to circle these guys because we still need those. Your last step is to plug it all into that very first rate of change formula, this guy up here. All right, we were talking about this guy up here. Let me do that in red. Before I do that, I just noticed that here it was a negative 11, and I forgot my negative sign over there. So make sure you have a negative 11. Otherwise, it'll mess up your equation. We're going to do f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. And then we're going to plug in everything we know. So I know f of b is 11 minus, and then over here we had our negative 11. Make sure you have that minus and that negative. And then all divided by b, which was 3, minus a, which was 1. Remember, when I have two negatives, they become a positive. So when I do 11 plus 11, I get 22. 3 minus 1 gives me 2. And then my final answer, 22 divided by 2, is 11. This is what we're looking for, our rate of change. So you are good to go. All right, the next thing I need you to do is we're going to skip all the way to the very back page of your notes, the very last one. That stuff in between is too hard for us to do if I'm not physically in the classroom. And it's not super important. So we're going to skip to the last page and we're going to do that stuff. And if you want to cross out the other stuff we haven't done, that's totally fine, but it's up to you. All right, on the last page, it says, what does it mean for a function to be increasing or decreasing? We've talked about this a little bit. Mostly we've talked about how we view it as like a roller coaster ride. And if I start on my roller coaster here, I'll be at this tip top point, and then we go down, 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 down. So this one we say was decreasing. And that one would be decreasing over the whole thing. Whereas this one, I'm going to start here always for my roller coaster. We're going to go down, and then at some point we turn and we go up, and then we go down again. And then for our last one, we start up here, we go down on a roller coaster, and then we go up again. So we're just talking about which direction our graph is pointing. I believe on your next slide you use blue. Yeah, you use blue for decreasing and you use yellow for increasing. So I'm just going to erase what's on my slide right now. And then we will actually draw it. And I think it says on your page, I just can't see it because, you know, my page. I know it's really fun to watch me erase things. It's so great. So again, we'll use blue for decreasing. We'll use yellow for increasing. So my first one, we said we start at the top and then we go down, 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 down. That one is decreasing for the whole thing. Your next one starts on the top. It goes down, 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 and then it hits this point down here where it suddenly turns. And from there, it starts increasing. Your roller coaster is going up the hill again, up, 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 until it reaches the top. And then it'll go back down the hill, until it reaches the bottom. So that's your decreasing point. Your last one, start at the top, you go down, 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 down. You hit that bottom point, and then it turns and starts to go up. So that's where it's increasing and decreasing on your graph. You're going to do the same thing for the next three. You're going to highlight where it's increasing and when it's decreasing. If you want, I would try these on your own first. Highlight the increasing yellow, highlight the decreasing blue, and then come back and check with what I've done. But you can also just watch me. So again, we're going to start over here, the very leftmost point on my graph. And this one, we're going to start by going up, 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 and then we hit the top. Once we get to the top, we're going to start decreasing down, 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 until we hit that lowest point, and then it turns and it goes up again, and it's increasing. The next one, we're going to start by decreasing, because we're starting way up here. We're going to go down, 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 down. Then it turns and it goes up. And then it turns and it goes down. And then it turns and it goes up. And then it turns and it goes down. Sorry, my highlighting's not super precise because my stylus isn't that small. And my last one, we're going up to start. Up, 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 up. Hit the top. It's going to turn and go down. Then it's go up again. Then it's going to go down. And then it's going to go back up. Now, here's the thing. They want us to tell you, or they want, I don't know, us to figure out what color our turning points are going to be. Now, you highlighted the increasing yellow and then the decreasing blue. So where they overlap, that point is generally your turning point. And in theory, it should be green. But my colors didn't work that way because I'm using my iPad to do this. But my turning points would be right here. It would be green. Right here, it would be green. Down here, up here, down here, up here. At the top, at the bottom, at the top, and at the bottom. Those are your turning points. It's where the blue and the yellow meet. If you want to fill in that box, it would be green. Green. Those are your increasing and your decreasing graphs. The next one, we're talking about a function being positive or negative. If it's positive, then it means it's above the x-axis. And if it's negative, that means it's below the x-axis. The colors it tells me is on the next slide, so I'm going to check. We are going to do yellow positive and blue negative. So again, I'm going to look at my graph. If it's above my x, and remember your x is this line here. And those are your x-axis. If it's above, we're going to highlight it yellow, so everything on top is yellow. And then if it's below, we're going to highlight it blue, because below is where it's negative. And again, above is yellow, yellow, yellow. Below is blue, blue, blue. And then yellow's above, and below is blue. And that is how you highlight your positive and your negative stuff. Again, we're going to highlight in yellow where the function is positive, highlight in blue where the function is negative. This would be a great time to try it on your own. Again, yellow is above x If you want, you can highlight your x-axis. It's this one here. Oh, maybe if my thing lets me draw. This guy and this guy. So anything above that line is going to be yellow. So this part and this part. This part. This crazy curvy part. Up, down, and then the last little up. And then anything underneath that line is going to be blue. So down here is blue. Down here. Down here. Down here. Down here. And down here. Now again, my colors are a little wonky, but whatever they meet, they should be green. Hopefully yours are. And these points, you should notice, they're all on your x-axis. These are called your x-intercepts. And your x-intercepts end up being green if you highlight this way. Now, hopefully you can tell me like a nice number for these. Like this one's at -3, this one's at -1, and that one's at 2. This one here looks a little sketchy. It's in between like 2 and 3. So maybe it'd be like -2.7. I'm just guessing. You kind of just have to make an estimate. Right now, because it's a graph printed, you can't actually like figure it out and we don't know the equations. But you can just make your best guess if they want to know what your x-intercepts are. It should be close to the right answer. But like things like this one over here too, where it's not quite to that next line, you're just going to have to make your best guess. That is how you find your positive and negative parts of your function. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about today are just your assignments. You've gotten 3 worksheets today. Your third one you are getting today. You're still going to highlight, so you'll have time in class to do that. All of your homework is going to be due on Friday, and on Friday we have a quiz. Today you're going to get your quizzes back. If you haven't, please make sure your sub hands them out to you. You can decide if you want to retake that quiz tomorrow on Friday. Our quiz will have new material on one side, our old material on the back. You'll have the hour to work on it and to do whatever you need to do. Retake it, don't retake it, totally up to you. Before we start our quiz tomorrow, we will start out by doing homework folders. So please have your assignments ready when you come to class tomorrow. Again, it's everything for 3-1, 3-1, day 1, day 2, and day 3. Thank you for watching my video. If you have questions about your homework, we'll talk about it quickly at the beginning of the hour tomorrow. But you will have a quiz. Thanks for watching.